Good afternoon. It's a beautiful afternoon here, middle of April, and I wanted to show you today a couple of hornbeams. When I first started my bonsai journey early last year, I'd never really heard of hornbeams, if I'm honest. Obviously I've heard of oak and beech and birch, all those type, but hornbeam I knew nothing about. So when I saw it at my bonsai, at a local bonsai centre, this one, I think it was only £6, £5 or something. I thought, oh, I've got to have a hornbeam. And I got this, and I really enjoyed it last year. I wired all the branches. The branches were in some awful positions, and I've changed them. So I now know hornbeam are not great for small bonsai because they've got such a large leaf. But I really enjoyed moving these branches. This branch came right round the back, and I slowly over the course of the year bent it round. I positioned these branches here. There's a small new branch coming there which is in a quite good place actually, and as I say, as you can see, I've wired it and it's just slowly developing in this pot, and hopefully over the years this will grow to become a worthwhile bonsai. But this video is about this second tree. So this was one of the hornbeam whips that I bought when I did my hornbeam forest. I think this was one of the smaller ones. It was either £1 or £1.50 this, and that was only in January. Or was it the end of last year, December? I can't remember anyway. I think it was sort of January, February time. And this was left over. It didn't really suit the forest, so I put some fairly thick gauge wire around the trunk and gave it some movement. Put it into a pot and it's thriving. There's some cut paste on this here because I did snap the tree a little bit there. But as I've said with hornbeams, a lot of trees are quite tough. They can take a bit of splitting, and this has been no problem at all. It's lost one branch there, which is fine. But what I thought I would do now is add some wire to add some movement into some of these branches. So first things first, let's remove this dead branch. I'll just check there is a small bud at the base of it. So I'm going to just cut it to there and let this bud develop, because that's in quite a good place. There's a small bud developing here, but I like this branch already, so we don't need that bud. And there's just a small nub around here. It's on the inside of the bend, and that can just go and be removed. So I've got two branches here of similar-ish thickness, both that I want to add some movement to. I'm not interested in doing anything high up on the branch because ultimately this will hopefully bud back further and will be cut off. So I want to get the movement into the lower part of the branch. So I've cut a piece of wire. This is long enough to do this section here. So I'm just going to wrap this piece of wire around the trunk, following the thick wire that's already on. That's now rock solid. I want to bend this down, so I'm going to come, my first turn is going to be over the branch. So right at the base, I come over the top there. And then with thin wire like this, it's nice and easy to just continue up to the top there, and then before I bend that, I'll wire this second branch. So exact same, round I go, There's a couple of buds just there that might turn into branches, so I'm taking care to avoid those. And there we go. So the ends of the wire can be cut off. And then I decide what I want to do. So I'm coming around to the camera side to see. This comes nicely round. Well, first of all, I suppose I have to think, where is the front of the tree? So as I rotate this around, I probably see the front from possibly something like this. Possibly with this cut off here, I don't know. I wouldn't see the front as here because this comes out too much. Oh, possibly there. I quite like that. So I suspect at that angle, that's the kind of line that I probably like best. Here, coming away, so it comes up, moves away, this comes out, that goes away and then comes back towards. So this is an important branch, and so is this at the back. And this one at the back from this angle, now I think wants to come up in this direction to fill this void. So I'll just get something to rest it on. This was my first ever bonsai 30 years ago. It's long dead, but I had it for a lot of years. And I'm still growing the base of it into a multi-trunk, which I'll talk about in another video. But as I say, if this is the front, which I think it will be, possibly angled a bit like that kind of angle, then this has to come up through here to fill this space. Now I have got a branch here which is perfectly positioned to fill this. That will come this way, so I think this can come up something like that. I think that works well. Now this one, I don't want it coming at me as the viewer. I want it coming, this is where I have to give it some thought. I'm thinking, what's going to happen here? And I want that to come down, I think, initially. Yes, I like that. I think that works well. That's coming down, and then I think it can come towards me and away from me like that. So it's got, just like a trunk, I want movement in multiple directions. So as you can see from this angle, we've got the nice movement coming down, up, and it's all happening in that first part of the branch, because as I say, everything past there probably won't end up being used. So this is the way you've got to think when you're styling a tree like this. So that's these two branches done. There's just really one left, which is this branch here, and I think that will potentially become the leader, the main leader of this tree. I suspect this is going to be chopped, although it may get chopped here. Either way, I think that branch is in a fairly good position. And does it need any movement? I think it should have a bit of wire added. Why not? So I've wired this branch with the same wire as I used for the previous branches, 1.5mm, I'm pretty sure. And looking at it from this view, and the more I look at it from this view, the more convinced I am that that is going to be the front. I think this wants to come down and fill this space. So I'm going to gently bend that branch down like that, across, so that this new branch is coming from the outside corner, and then back like that. And then I'll take the end up and rotate the end so that these branches, these leaves should I say, are being pointed up to the light, which is important for the health of the tree. So although the movement is all happening down here, I finish with the branch going up. I'm not going to be using this part of the branch anyway, but obviously it's about the health, and no good having a good shape in a tree that's dead. So let me have a look round from the camera. I'm happy with that. It's a bit difficult for you to see what I did because of these leaves here, but if I just pull that leaf there back, you can kind of see how I've come down and around. And I think that's a good result. So I'll leave that now for the summer. Feed it, water it like all my other trees. Just let it keep bouncing on and growing and developing, thickening the trunk, thickening the branches, and you know, this is only the beginning of the process, but I think I could have just some basic structure in place, and that's all I'm looking for at this stage, is to develop something that could be good in the future. So again, who wouldn't love spending half an hour messing about with a tree and some wire like this? I can't understand who wouldn't like it, but I've always been a bit weird. Anyway, it's been nice having you join me, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. I'll see you soon.